Food and water are essential for all life on Earth. The foods we eat provide us with a range of nutrients. These include vitamins, water, minerals, fat, carbohydrates, fiber, and protein. So just like a power station requires gas or coal to power its turbine and generate energy, our bodies require fuel in the form of food to power our continued existence. But what if we never had to eat or drink anything to live? How would that affect our lives? Today, we will be looking at a hypothetical scenario where humans have no need to consume food for energy. But before we begin, make sure to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of our future uploads. The first thing that would happen if we stopped eating would be the food industries going out of business. Today, many industries are based on growing, preparing, and distributing food. So all of these sectors would go bankrupt if humans all of a sudden didn't require any food. But this would depend on whether we could still eat food if we wanted to, or we just cannot eat anything, period. In the case of the former, food industries might still be around, but they would be considered a luxury only for the very rich to be able to afford. The poor will not be able to afford it, just like the case with many things today. So there would be a clear difference in the appearance between the rich and the poor, since the rich will be able to afford food and put on some extra weight, while the poor will not be able to do that. However, if the latter is true, and no one can eat anything at all, then there would be no more food industries, period. But this may not be such a terrible news, since farming and agriculture has a pretty big impact on our environment. Some of the environmental issues that are related to agriculture are climate change, deforestation, dead zones, genetic engineering, pollutants, soil degradation, and waste. So if we all stopped eating, there would be no more farming and agriculture, which would ultimately be a very good news for our planet as a whole. Although billions of people will lose their jobs around the world, there will be many other industries popping up to keep the economy from crashing. Perhaps people would be more invested in developing and improving clean energy sources like solar, thermal, wind, and hydro. This may lead to our planet recovering from all the toxic gases and pollutants that we have released into the atmosphere over time. So this leads to the question of where would we get our energy from? Well, we would most likely be needing energy from the sun via photosynthesis, just like plants and trees do today. This means that our current city structures would need a major update. Instead of living in densely populated cities with high-rise buildings, people would most likely be spreading out across the globe. This is because densely populated cities just wouldn't have enough space for everyone to absorb energy from the sun. So humanity would need to spread out and spend most of the time outside in order to stay alive. But many alternative energy sources may pop up as well for people to use, instead of directly obtaining energy from the sun. This may also solve the problem of crashing economies and government structures. But how will all of this affect us individually? Well, our productivity would be at an all-time high if we didn't need food or water to live. On average, people spend about 1 hour per day eating food and about half an hour per day using the washroom. And these are just lowball estimates, as many take a lot more time both eating and using the washroom. Now imagine all of this extra time adding up each day. This would skyrocket our production and perhaps even give us more time to build social connections and develop deeper social bonds. Moreover, after each meal, we are restricted by the digestion process and therefore cannot perform certain tasks right after eating. So this will no longer be a problem, further adding productivity to our lives. But of course, there will always be those people who will be lazy and not want to do anything regardless of the situation. Nonetheless, we would all have plenty of time to give it a thought and try to make a difference. Another advantage of not eating any food will be great sleeping cycles. Research indicates that our food choices during the day greatly impact our sleep. For example, one study showed that eating less fiber and more saturated fats and sugars throughout the day was linked to lighter, less restorative sleep, with more awakenings throughout the night for participants. So if we eliminate any need for food intake, we will be sleeping and waking up more efficiently. Furthermore, the foods we eat are often linked to many of the diseases that exist today. For example, eating raw or spoiled food can cause a range of diseases that will no longer exist if we didn't eat anything. This could have a significant impact on the medicine industry. However, there may be other issues that our bodies may develop, so it may not cause a total shutdown of this industry. Regardless, fewer diseases would mean healthier and stronger people around the world. So it may even be quite beneficial for everyone if we all didn't need to eat any more food. And that brings us to the end of this video. What do you think would happen if we stopped eating food all of a sudden? Do you think it would be good for us or a disaster? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Also, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more content. Until then, we'll see you in the next one.